Hello, my name is Megan and I am going to talk about the global fisheries management between New Zealand and China. To start off, New Zealand has 130 species that are commercially fished in their waters. Their aquaculture primarily consists of green-shelled mussels and salmon. In 2012, there were 2,150 fishery employees as well as 700 aquaculture employees. The goal set for the future of the New Zealand fisheries is New Zealanders maximizing benefits from the use of fisheries within environmental limits. The fishery focuses on economic benefits and environmental sustainability. The Fishery 2030 strategy includes a national plan of action to reduce accidental catch of seabirds, regulating illegal fishing, and the conservation of sharks. On the other hand, China is the world's top fish producer. In 2015, they produced 65.2 million tons of fish, 73% of that aquaculture, 27% of that capture. Aquaculture practices are much more diverse in China with over 200 farm species. They harvested 13.9 tons of seaweeds in 2015, as well as 62% of the world's farmed fish production. The total production of capture increases annually by 2%. 14 million fishery jobs, 5.1 million aquaculture jobs, 15.9 million for all other related services related to the fishery. They are a member of network of aquaculture centers in Asia and the Pacific, and they are the third largest fish importer in the world since 2012. Statistics for New Zealand include 80% of production are from inshore and offshore capture and 20% from aquaculture. The rock lobster production in New Zealand accounts for approximately 16.5% of export value. The most commercial aquaculture occurs in the Nelson-Marlborough region on the east coast of the South Island, and this contributes to 39% of seafood industry regional contributions. About 37% of inshore finfish production was exported in 2013. Current aquaculture production is around 100,000 tons, and 99% of that is marine. Also, 23,279 hectares were used for aquaculture, with 56% being nearshore, 38% in open ocean, and 6% in undeveloped space. For China, fishery production was over 66 million tons in 2015. Mariculture facilities were 25.65 million square meters. The deep sea aquaculture was 6.06 million square meters. There are over 100 species targeted by commercial fishing in China. The most production in China occurs on the East China Sea, followed by the South China Sea, the Yellow Sea, and the Bohua Sea. The inland capture fishery is 1.67 million tons of finfish, 0.33 million tons of crustaceans, 0.26 million tons of shellfish, and 256 tons of seaweeds. These are some New Zealand graphs that I thought were very important. The first red graph is the capture production, with the highest capture production in 1998, and all of them in marine waters. Below that is the aquaculture production, with the highest in 2011, and those are all freshwater, and the import and export values of fish and fishery products. As you can see, they make a lot more money in export value, the highest being in 2012. And as for China, they were lacking with their graphs, and I couldn't find any, but these are the highlighted ones for New Zealand. The key species that are fished in New Zealand are the rock lobster, the alabone, the green-shelled mussels, Pacific oysters, salmon, hoki, ling, oreo, dory, and snapper, and the management measures in place depend on the species being caught and include catch limits, closed areas, gear restrictions such as mesh size, gear type and amount, size limits, and closed seasons. 96.2% of stocks of known status were above the soft limit in 2013, meaning they were not considered overfished. For China, the main fish being fished are chum mackerel, Pacific herring, Spanish mackerel, Chinese herring, sea eel, yellow croaker, mullet, flounder, cuttlefish, squid, and octopus. The Coastal Administration reissued all fishing licenses, which helped establish a new marine fishing production system and ensure fishery resources became stable and sustainable, as well as to help raise fishermen awareness of the importance of resource protection. And China is currently the world's largest exporter of fish and fishery products, with exports reaching $19.7 billion in 2015. Additional facts for New Zealand are the rock lobster is a main export earner because of its high export price point, earning $214 million in 2013. Some species like the eel and coral are important for spiritual needs in New Zealand. 1/4 of all New Zealanders fish recreationally more than once in the past 12 months, and New Zealand signed a free trade agreement with China in April 28, which resulted in tariff concessions for New Zealand fish products entering China from 2012. And for China, the government established more aquatic nature reserves to help with conservation and sustainability. Gear regulations stop. They have gear regulations to stop destructive fishing and methods. More than 700 species of freshwater fish and 600 species of marine freshwater fish, migratory fish, are found in the inland waters. China has been implementing a summer closure in the East China Sea, the Bohua Sea, and the Yellow Sea since 1995, and in the South China Sea since 1999 to recover the declining coastal fishery resources. Comparisons I found were New Zealand had a lot more visuals and graphs illustrating additional information regarding its fisheries. China was lacking visuals and graphs but had a lot of statistical information. China had a lot more management plans with extensive details relative to New Zealand. New Zealand seemed to be a more sustainable fishery, while China is a larger producer of seafood and clarity is not given on China's current sustainable stocks. And both explain each sector in detail, including marine, inland, aquaculture, and recreational. And these are my resources. Thank you.